Hey, Danny.
Hey Thomas, how's it going?
Well, we're going pretty good. How are you?
Doing well, man. Happy Friday.
Yes. I'm lost this week. I don't know what day it is. I have two kids. It's spring break. We just got back from like a trip yesterday. I
Yeah.
work from home every day. It's just all very confusing.
Were you where did you retrieve on spring break to?
So I'm down in Austin, Texas. We went to a town called Fredericksburg, Texas, which is kind of
Yeah.
like a German-ish style town. But we found a cool house down there, and a couple of the kids' grandparents came, and we just like hit a bunch of restaurants, did some hiking, went to a couple parks down there. So yeah, it was a nice little escape, but still working for me.
Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, I've been to Austin a few times. All of the times, all of 5 times I've been there have been for marketing conferences at the JW Marriott and at the Fremont. So I get around downtown Austin in the little scooters.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many cranes down there now. I think of the five tallest skyscrapers under construction right now, two of them are in Austin, like in the world of the five tallest.
No kidding, no kidding. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
they're getting
definitely
tall.
the city's attracting a lot of tech companies. Yeah, it's are we waiting for the rest of the team or is just us?
Nope, it's just us today. And basically, I just kind of want to get an update on how close we were ready to be able to put this on the website. And then the second thing I wanted to, I think I found what I needed to find, but whatever interface you're using to edit the chatbot stuff is just different than mine. And so if I can screen share, and then that way
Oh
you
yeah,
can walk me through a couple things.
sure thing. Go for it.
All right. So first up, how close do you think we are to being ready to have it on the website?
Good question. So I had been planning on stress testing for the next over the weekend, maybe Monday, Tuesday, have a feel of what needs to be added, subtracted. And what I mean by stress testing is I'm going to give you a link. I'm going to give the rest of the teams a link so we can ask it some tough questions, right? That's the stress test, right? Some re quote unquote, I don't want to say the word, just ridiculous questions, right?
Yeah.
And the reason why I tend to do this is because obviously, the conference name is behind this, right? Obviously my name too, but obviously the conference name is behind this. Perry's voice is actually speaking. We don't want it to say something that does not align with the values, does not align with, the university's policies, for instance, right? So the reason why I say stress test is because, some people may guaranteed almost ask some stupid questions, right? To see what the bot comes up with, right? Obviously, if there's sensitive questions to sensitive topics, we want to give the bot some instructions. If it's outside of the parameters, to say, hey, I'm not trained to answer this question, please stay on topic or something like that. Um, so I know you had a observation regarding the echo in the background there, and I was just asking the questions, and I did hear the echo, and that is sort of like a safety feature, so that we don't want it to be exactly like Perry's voice, right? We do know that there's some, maybe not Perry himself, but there's some concerns, right, with voice and the
I
tone of
see.
voice.
It sounds like a recording intentionally. Okay.
Correct, correct. And I might diminish that echo a little bit, so it's not so spatial, if you will. He sounds like he's in an outer space or something.
Okay. Okay. That
But
makes sense.
yeah, I'm ready for you to share. And were you showing me something?
Sure. And so I'll continue to do a little bit of stress testing, but I've been chatting with it and telling it things. And the main thing I was looking for last time was I guess the prompt or whatever that was kind of like just paragraphs of information. And so I found that today finally after I was like I don't know how many times I went in there. I'm like,
I
what is this?
switched it. Yeah, I changed the place. Yeah, go ahead.
So let's see. Screen share, go here. Yeah, so I found those through settings, integrations is where I found this, which is essentially that prompt, right? And
Hmm.
so I'm free to update this and put information in here, right?
Hmm.
Okay, cool. Awesome. And then assistant, is there anything else to know about all right, so that's to edit, give it information. You were talking about uploading documents and PDFs and things like that. How is that? Is there something in here that I can do that?
Yes. So if you go back to that OpenAI edit there and you go to assistants, you'll let's see. Actually, just scroll out of there. Or just close it there. So hit it, hit edit again or manage. Sorry, I'm
That's right,
sorry.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Just write down underneath on assistants. Yeah, yeah. There's manage, and here you can create an assistant. For instance, you can go ahead. I mean, anything we can do here, we can modify or whatever. You can just yeah, and it's here where you can upload files.
Okay.
So right underneath, yeah, it's right there where you can upload from files.
Is the name significant? Like, is that going to be referenced later, or is that just for?
Yeah, that so we would want to label it maybe something that is specific to the function of the assistant.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is it one file per assistant, or is this
No,
the way that
there's
comes
many
up all
you
files?
can have many files. You can have many files. So no, so here's one that catches my attention and that's probably relevant to what I one of the things that I'm missing here. So for instance, topics, presenters topics, right? That could be I have presenters, right? I was able to have a bot crawl the website on speakers, and there's 2 pages of speakers. So I was able to extract the name of the speakers, the title of the speakers, and the organization they're with, right? But I don't have topics, right? So and I know that the topics are there, right? So once you click on the person and you scroll and right, the topics are there. But if we could give the bot a cleaner sheet, for instance, of the topic or the category of the topic and then the topic, that way, if someone like I was just testing it, give me a list of topics regarding AI. It could not give me that because we haven't given it any topics or any categories,
Okay.
right? So
I got
that could be a good one.
Okay, great. So that'll be enough to really get me kicked off and getting a little bit more through here as well, because I've been waiting to do that. And then, so do you know with my account, is there any way that I can create like a sandbox, one as well, a sandbox bot, or is it just the one?
Um, you could create a sandbox. Let's see. So it'll have to be a new account, for instance. So if you go there, just right there, and you create a new account, right? What that's going to do is that's going to create a free trial for 3 days, right? After 3 days, that's gonna disappear because it's gonna ask you to go to the paid version,
Okay,
right? Yeah.
got
So maybe we can test in the same account, but let's see without creating a new one. What is it that you needed to test in the sandbox?
So it was just two things. One was if somebody else like College of Business or UMSL was interested in seeing what it would look like under a different kind of topic or if they wanted to play around with it. And the second, honestly, is a personal thing. My daughter is really into AI and she has her own personality bot through Chat GPT. So I was like, well, maybe through here I can figure out how to just make her an account too so she can create her own. AI chatbot because she has this robot kit too to make like a little robot with it. So yeah, so but it's all I just like having somewhere to play around before I like, you know, um push everything live. It's just it's a weird thing to just be like, well, it's live. Like there's no, I don't know, it's just wild in a way. You know what I mean? Like usually there'd be some sort of stop check or like, but
No, and we can create you know, if you would want it to have some sort of restriction. Is that what we're talking about?
no, it's fine. You answered the question already. It was purely
Okay.
just having a second account set up. So
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Gotcha.
all right. And so I sent Mindy the link so we can basically invite anybody. So I sent her an invite to be an admin so she can check it out too. Um, and then once she gets in, she knows more about the web integration. I imagine she'll see exactly what to do. And then flows was the other thing I guess I had a question about. Is there anything I wasn't sure what flows is. Is this relevant to what we're doing? And I don't know if you can explain this a little bit.
Yeah, so there's some test flows here. The only one that we are really using right now is the default MDMC mascot voice bot, right? So that is practically a yeah, that is the flow. That's practically what's taking the answers and is switching them to voice, right? If you hit on OpenAI,
Okay.
yeah, just as long as you don't edit anything, right there on the inside of the block, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then in that block, hit OpenAI again, boop. And so basically, that right there contains the same exact prompt.
Oh, okay.
Same exact prompt. And I believe this has actually let me update this backup.
So when the other one gets updated, this one automatically updates.
No, no, it
Oh,
doesn't.
okay.
And the reason why is I was doing some tests there and here, right? And I noticed that the text to speech integration that you see on the left hand menu, you see OpenAI, then you see 11 Labs.
Yeah.
11 Labs is the other software. You can click on that. 11 Labs is the other software that is taking that text and is switching it to Perry the clone's voice, right? So that's an integration that's happening externally, and he's bringing it back and he's outputting it in a voice format, right?
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, cool. That makes sense. And let me just
Yeah.
make here, sets and flows. All right.
So
And
all
then
these other clear conversation, that's when I need to debug the sequence. You might remember something that I said before, and it might be using some of that context. So I need to debug it. And all the other flows, they're kind of default. They come with the account, so that is kind of like ready to go. But
gotcha.
they're not. I'm gonna deactivate the ones that are not being used. So basically, we're just using one or two flows here.
Okay, cool. So for stress testing, is it helpful if me and if I solicit other people to just chat and stress test it on their own, does that help you, or is it something that you have to do it live with one or two other people and actually see and interact or whatever?
So it doesn't have to be simultaneously, or I don't have to be there. But maybe as part of the core team, if you share the link with Mindy and with Perry and with myself, we over the weekend, over the next 4 days, we can stress test it and then take some notes like, oh, it's saying the other day someone had it was half kidding around, but it kind of brought me to that realization. This guy asked it, is the conference LGBTQ friendly? And I'm like, well, it should be, but I don't know, like, I mean, like I don't know how the body's going to respond to this, right? So good question. So I took note, right? And obviously I asked the bot, and this was maybe, around the first version that I did on this before the voice thing. So things like that, those are, I mean, in our private, sessions, we can ask it, those hard, ridiculous questions that we want to experience, Perry, what's Perry gonna say, right? So we wanna, or Perry's voice is gonna say, or Peanut, as you say, what's Peanut's voice gonna say? So that if in fact we missed it, you're like, hey, you shoot me a note or an email. Hey, Danny, this is not congruent with what we want to talk about. Or who's people? I bet you people are gonna ask it. Who's your favorite between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, something like that. So if it's like sports related or something, we can encapsulate, an instruction saying, hey, if people are asking anything about sports, politely say, this is not my forte. I don't gamble, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Let's go
Yep.
back to, asking questions regarding the conference, that sort of thing. So if it's like gender equality related, I don't know, or sports related, politics related, right?
Yeah.
Something or the other, right? I
I've
want to
already,
make sure that we're on track.
yeah, and I've already seen that in the responses I was getting even early on. Like I was asking it to sing me a song or tell me a nursery rhyme and things like that, and it wouldn't do it. So
Yeah,
I didn't start pushing it really hard, but I might
yeah, yeah.
try. Anyway, so okay, cool. Well, I'll keep you in the loop on that then too. And then I reshared the folder with you that I was just dumping some random notes and files into. But if that's the same place that you just showed me, I might just upload that here momentarily. And then yeah, cool. Because I imagine within a week, I should be able to ask it almost every topical question that I can think of that someone might want to know. And then I can just directly kind of feed the answer preemptively into the text. So, or tell it. So what I've been trying to do is when I chat with it, if it says something incorrect, I'll say that is incorrect. These are the best hotels for the conference. And then it does respond back saying like, oh, thank you. And these are good hotels for the conference. And so it's just a matter of like, okay, is the next user when they hit the bot, what response are they going to get? Is it going to update its response? So, but preemptively putting the data in there, then it's kind of like, well, either way, we're good, I think.
Yeah, correct. And here's one thing to remember for best practice, right? So every time we add something to that prompt, to back it up, right, in a separate document, right? This is my revision, February or March 15th, right? This is my revision March 16th, right? So that we have like a backup just in case something happens, we have to duplicate the bot, it's only copy paste and we get it going.
Okay.
Um,
I
so
can I do that as a Google Doc in the folder I
yeah,
just shared with you? Okay, so
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
making
yeah, yeah.
it
Yeah.
now.
I actually have it on my own folder, but we can all keep, that sort of backup, if you will,
Okay.
for next year or whatever the case may be, or for any future um related event build out, so we don't have to, things would obviously be different, but we'll have a structure, right? Who, what, when, where, that sort of framework.
Gotcha.
So
Perfect.
so I added also on that latest edition all the information regarding sponsors, right? So I went back to the master folder that you guys shared, for the current 2024 section, and there's a lot of information regarding sponsors. So I just went ahead and I copied that and I fed it to the bot. So when I ask, it's who are the sponsors so far this year? So I think Nestle Purina is one of them this year. And I know as some of those other sponsors may pop up and might sign, on the dotted line, we might want to include them also. So when people ask, hey, who are some of the sponsors, the sponsors actually get some exposure as well. And that sort of thing. So, and also maybe or sponsors who may want to sponsor, but they don't have an idea what
I don't
packages
know who
there
it
are.
is. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the bot will also respond that.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Great. All right. Well, I think that's all for today. So Appreciate your time
Oh,
and
yeah, no, I'll keep you updated as well.
okay. All right, thanks, Danny.
All right, talk to you guys soon. Bye bye.
All right, bye.